Have you visited any place that is less known or not a lot of people go there?
Yeah, there is a place called Amano Hashidate. It's in Kansai region. I would say closer to Kyoto. To go there, it's a unique experience because Amano Hashidate literally translates to bridge to heaven.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like a land, I would say a very narrow land that connects two regions.
Okay.
And that they call it as a bridge to heaven because it connects two regions.
Regions.
To go there, you need a bit of a planning there because there's only one train that goes and you have to reserve your seats in advance to go there.
Okay.
And the train goes early in the morning and comes back late in the night. And if you miss that train, there's no way to come back. So we have to
Okay.
think a little. But it's a very beautiful place. So it's a very small village. You can just roam around the village and then walk across the bridge to heaven. And there are two cable car that goes from down to the top of the hills, which you can. That is the whole experience where you walk across. You take the cable car, you go up, and you see that what Ramen is.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then you can after that you can roam around the village and then probably come back and take the train back to Kyoto.
Okay. How was your train and transportation experience in Japan?
This requires a little planning again. Certain places there are very less trains that runs. Of course not in the city, but some other regions you definitely need to plan. In major cities that's fine. But again, you can save a lot of money in transportation because definitely transportation in Japan is very expensive. Very, very expensive compared to India. But a way to save money is you book your rail passes in advance.
Okay.
So all the certain regions have certain exclusive passes, which is given by JR, which is Japanese Railway.
Okay.
My most of the travel was in the Kansai region. Kansai region is Kyoto, Osaka region. I had a lot of my days there. So I took a Kansai pass. They call it JR Kansai pass.
Okay.
And there was a exclusive Hiroshima JR Kansai pass, which gives you a Hiroshima additional region of Hiroshima as well. It costs around I think 8k in INR. I would say, and it gives you 5 days travel, consecutive 5 days. You can miss any of the day. You can plan your trip around it, and you save a lot of money. For example, if I give you a math, going to Hiroshima and coming back without a pass in INR will cost you around 10k.
Okay.
5k one way.
Yeah.
So coming back to Osaka or Kyoto, it will give you around 10k. But the pass itself was 8k for 5 days.
Yeah.
That covered my trip to Hiroshima from Osaka. That covered my trip to Amano Hashidate. Again, Amano Hashidate with one way would cost you 4k.
Okay.
That covered my trip to Osaka or anywhere, any local train that I take. Everything in that 5 days that covers. Even going to Universal Studio from Osaka, right? So in 8k, you make around 2x savings on top of it.
Yeah, right.
So I would definitely recommend everyone to get the rail passes. Wherever the region you are going, whether it's east, west, south, doesn't really matter. You get the JR pass and plan your trip accordingly so that you can make a lot of savings.
Okay, that's amazing. How did you manage the language barrier in Japan?
Very interesting question.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of anime.
Oh.
So before flying to Japan, I installed Duolingo. I learned, or let's say it was a broken learning experience. So at 3 months I continued, then I stopped, then again I started. But I knew certain, let's say if you're going to convenience store, how do you order something? Or if you have, let's say you want to get the things packed or you want to heat certain food items, how do you say that? Those things I was able to manage. But if you use Google Translate, if you know how to use it, it will pretty much work anywhere.
Oh.
So that is anyways there. You can use Google Translate. You don't need to learn it per se. Other things are all the boards, signing boards that are there in Japan. It is there in English as well as Japan.
Okay.
Especially in the cities, definitely it's there. In suburbs, it won't be there. But again, there you can use Google Translate. So it was not a major language, was not a major problem.
So how was your food experience in Japan?
Again, very interesting. Japanese food is like amazing, especially if you are a non-vegetarian. It's like paradise. So again, it's a little on an expensive side. If I have to draw a comparison, if you go out Bangalore in, let's say, a high-end cafe, how much you pay, that is what regularly you have to pay for a regular.
Oh,
But to save on food, if you're on a tight budget, I would recommend going to these convenience stores, 7-Eleven and Family Mart. It's there everywhere. For every 200 meters, you'll find a 7-Eleven and Family Mart.
Okay.
And their food is amazing. They keep a track of their stock, so you will always find fresh food there. My breakfast, when we start a day, because we have a long journey throughout.
Yeah.
So to start the day, I go to 7-Eleven, grab a coffee and a sando. And to end the day, again, we might have some fried chicken or something. And there are good ice creams in 7-Eleven.
Okay.
I would definitely recommend getting ice cream in 7-Eleven. It's really amazing.
Okay.
And end the day with the ice cream in 7-Elevens. And lunch, usually any restaurant that's come across. But there are some chains, like Curry and Co, Yoshinoya, Ichiran Ramen. These are some chains that throughout the Japan where you get good ramens, good curry rice and all these things are really affordable outlets.
Okay. And like, what about vegetarians? Were there a lot of options for vegetarians?
In cities you would still find it, especially if you're a vegan. It's a little tough, but in cities you definitely find it, like Tokyo, Osaka, definitely.
Okay.
In suburbs you won't. But again, but there are 7-Elevens and Family Mart. So if you go there, you can pick a vegetarian, let's say salad, or again sandwich comes in a veg option also. You can pick those and maybe manage.
So our next segment is a fun segment. It's called a rapid fire round. So moving on to the first question. Tokyo or Kyoto, which city did you love more?
Definitely Tokyo.
Most Instagrammable spot you visited?
It's Lake Kawaguchiko near Mount Fuji.
Okay. One unexpected travel mishap or funny moment?
So it's a little long answer. In Osaka, there are a lot of luggage storage in railway stations. And we forgot where did we keep our luggage, in which locker we kept. We had to run around, and there are a lot of platforms, so it took us some time to figure out where it was. And in all those chaos, I think we forgot our umbrella also.
Oh sure. Okay. Best Japanese dish you tried?
Curry rice.
One thing you wish you had packed but forgot?
I could have packed one more luggage.
Cash or card? Which one did you end up using more?
Both are good. In my journey, because I went away from cities, cash definitely you need to carry a lot. Otherwise, both works. But I would say keep a 50-50.
One hidden gem in Japan that most travelers miss.
There's a small hike in an area called Matsumoto. It's called Kamikochi hike. No one really goes there. I found it randomly in Google Maps. Because it was in my way, I just went there, and it's really amazing. You all should go.
Okay. The most unique or weirdest thing you saw in Japan?
Okay. You would end up seeing a lot of people in cosplay roaming around in the streets, especially in Shibuya and Akihabara. In metros, anywhere you go, you would see, and that's very unique, I would say.
Okay. Most romantic moment or experience on this trip?
Cycling around the river Kawaguchiko was one of the best experience, because we got to cycle across the gardens, across the lake. At the same time, we could see the Mount Fuji view.
Would you visit Japan again? If yes, what's the first thing you'd do?
Definitely in my radar, probably next year, March, for sakura, cherry blossom season. I think this time I'm gonna cover north side, because I pretty much covered the center and west. And I think one thing I would do again is Disneyland is something we didn't go, so probably I'll add it.
Okay. So next segment is called Show and Tell. We'll be showing us few pictures from your trip and a quick story behind those pictures.
Sure. Yep. This one is it's a temple called Katsuoji Temple.
Okay.
Again, not many people know about it.
Okay.
It has this dolls, small dolls. It's throughout the temple. You will find it everywhere, on the tree, on the ground, near the pond.
Yeah.
The fun part about this is there are a lot of relics in certain parts of the temple, and each relic you get a stamp, and you have to keep. And in the end of the day, once you cover all the places, you get this photo frame again of Durama dolls.
Okay.
And it becomes like a very big.
Okay, that's nice.
This one is a very old village town. It's called Narayajuku. Narayajuku basically is used to be a major postal town for samurais when they go across Japan for war or whatever.
Okay.
So interesting part is it's like a 1 kilometer stretch, and the whole stretch has these very old Japanese styles houses. And it's very unique because the people live there. At the same time, it's like a UNESCO thing. And there are people living there. The cute thing about this is like when we are walking back in the evening, there used to be a van which sells vegetables, and then they have this very unique tune when they pass through, so that people know that the van is here. And then we see these villagers coming and then buying vegetables. Yeah, very, very nice. And you get some of the good ice creams here as well.
Okay. Okay, you should keep that in mind. So thank you for joining us.
It was a great conversation. Thank you for having me.
I hope we were able to give you good information about Japan, and I hope it helps you plan your next trip to Japan.